Hey y'all, what's good? What's good? Welcome to our third episode of What's Good Live and Unfiltered. And today is a special episode because we are launching our Sisters of the Leaf series. And so today we have a number of ladies from all segments of the cigar industry with us today. Now, there's been a few changes because uh, as any live show goes, sometimes you just have to work with uh, things as it happens. And so we have a number of our guests who are actually at PCA in Las Vegas today. And PCA, for all of you who don't know, it is the Premium Cigar Association, and they have a trade show that we have annually in Las Vegas. And so we have a number of our guests that are actually there, including our co-host and sister, Arlene Beckton, who is normally out of Los Angeles, but she is streaming live from Las Vegas today, along with Heather and Christine. And so there was a drop in schedule, and we have one of our guests that cannot make it because she had other commitments that she had to be addressing in Las Vegas at the show. So we will go ahead and move forward as planned and work around that change. So the Sister of the Leaf series that we want to begin starts off today, but I don't know if you have seen any of our posts regarding our next episode, which would be a featured Sister of the Leaf guest of Liana Fuente. And this is a relationship that one of our sisters, our co-host Arlene, has a beautiful relationship with the Fuente family. So, stay tuned. Make sure you click on that notification on our Facebook page with What's Good Live and Unfiltered so that you get notified every time we go live. So let me go ahead and bring my co-host, my beautiful co-host in, and I'll do it one at a time. So Arlene from Las Vegas, can we get her on the screen? There you go. You're muted, sis. So we also have Nikki out of Maryland.
What's good, y'all?
There you go. And then we have Ty out of Atlanta, Georgia. There's a go. So Arlene is
good.
currently right next to an ATM because she had to find a pod to actually film and stream from in the Venetian Hotel. So Arlene, you're on mute.
You got your mute button on, sis.
Unmute.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you.
Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry.
That's okay, sis.
I'm in this pod, you guys. And so people are walking by and I'm blowing kisses.
Just like Arlene.
So you got to excuse me.
So typical. So I'm going to hand it off to Ty so that she can continue on with the show. And we hope you guys enjoy the show. And we're excited to bring the ladies on board. All right, Ty, go ahead and take it.
Hey, you guys. So I hope you got your favorite cigar like I do today. And I hope you got your favorite drink like I do today. Mine just happens to be a little Partagas for the cigar and a little moonshine for my favorite drink. And I hope you guys are ready to kick back with us for an amazing show today. We are getting ready to interview some of the most beautiful Sister of the Leaves that are paving the way and trailblazing the streets with their girl power, not just woman power, girl power. This episode is all about us celebrating each other, supporting, encouraging, and loving on our Sisters of the Leaves. Not just the ones that you're going to see today on the show, but each other in this culture, because that's something that's very important. We're going to crush the stereotype today here on What's Good, Live and Unfiltered, that women in this cigar industry can't get along and unite as one to pull each other up to the next level. That is the basis of our show, is to totally dismantle that stereotype. These five ladies that we're going to introduce today, that I'm going to introduce to you shortly, have successfully shown us over and over on this platform that we are indeed Wonder Women, and that we have the power to do any and everything that we put our minds to. We are a force to definitely be reckoned with once we have a goal in mind that we want to obtain. So, with further delay, I'm going to give you a little bit of background on my 5 ladies that we're going to be introducing today. My beautiful sister of the Leafs. My first one on my roster today is going to be Heather Callahan. Heather is out of St. Petersburg, Florida. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know her, especially if you're a traveling brother and sister like I am. She is the cigar broker for Hiram and Solomon Cigars. It's an amazing line. First time I tasted it was, I think it was at the IPCPR in 2017, I believe. It's the first time I ever had that cigar. And it made a difference in my life as a traveling sister. So I'm sure it makes a difference in a lot of other people that are traveling or non-traveling. Our next up on the roster is going to be the beautiful Enid Blanton. Enid has made history in Illinois. So let me just say that. She is the first African American woman in Illinois to hold a tobacco license for a cigar line. Now let me repeat that, because maybe you got it confused. She is the first black female to hold a cigar license, tobacco license, for a cigar line. That's epic, y'all. That's epic. She is also one of the partners of Ancestry Cigars, based out of Chicago, Illinois. So when Ingrid gets on, you guys, when Enid gets on, you guys make sure you ask her whatever questions you want to ask her, dig into her head, find out, how she do it, basically, because I want to know myself, as somebody that's coming up in this industry. Next, we're going to have our sister of the league, Christine Odell, who happens to be based out of Southern California. And she's a cigar broker for Casa Cueva Cigars. I'm pretty sure everybody's familiar with them. They're one of my favorites as well. Christine also has accounts out of North Carolina, not just in California. And so next, out of also Sacramento, California, we have Gentry Smiles. She's a cigar retail proprietor and owner of Herf Cigar Lounge, another female owner. How about that, ladies? We can do whatever we want to do when we put our minds to it. And last, but definitely not least, we have the influencer and founder of Cigar Chaser, who has a huge following in New York and all over the world, Frances Martinez out of New York. Ladies, I want to be the first to say thank you guys for being a part of what's good, being a part of history, being a part of this platform with me and myself and my beautiful co-host, and just being a part of an amazing platform that's for us, by us. That's the key. So with further ado, I'm going to pass the baton on over to Arlene. Arlene, are you ready to kick us off?
I am, sis. I'm
Great.
excited. I'm excited to meet and hear all the ladies. So
I am too.
Yeah. So I have the pleasure of talking to Heather Callahan. So Heather, are you on? Hi, sweetie. Okay, so Heather.
All right, I see that I'm on, but I can't hear anything.
You can't hear me?
I'm unmuted, but I can't hear anybody.
Uh-oh. Is she, can we, you can't hear any of us?
I can't hear you.
Ladies, Nikki, can you hear any of us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys just fine. Heather, can you try going out and coming back in? Maybe the connection got a little wonky. So while Heather does that, I'll just stay on here and chat with my girl Arlene. So Arlene, what's going on at PCA?
Hey, I'm over here in Vegas and it's hot as hell. But it's fun. And of course, the PCA, we knew it was going to be smaller this year, but it's definitely nice, intimate. I miss like the crowd, but I feel like this time around, like you can really spend a lot more time with the retailers, with the with the manufacturers. So I think it's a lot more intimate time with them. So it's still nice. It's just good to see everybody, out and about. So awesome. I think it's all the hugs that I'm getting that I enjoy right now. So,
Right. Well, I don't know what happened to Sister Heather.
I
So
know.
to keep the show rolling, I'm gonna go ahead and go with wait. I think she just popped back
Is she
in.
coming back?
I
Okay.
think that's her. Let's
Hear
see.
me? Can you hear me now?
Heather, yeah,
Heather,
can you
we
hear?
can hear you. Can you hear
Yay!
us?
Awesome. All
Yes, I
right,
can hear you
ladies.
too.
Awesome.
Sorry
Okay.
about that. Technical
No
difficulties.
worries.
What do you
All
do?
right. Well, Heather, thank you, sis, for being on the show, taking your time out from PCA. Um, I know you got to get back, so I want to respect your time. Can you hear me? You're a little frozen. Are you good?
It's lunchtime, right? We got 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So you're a little
Am I
frozen,
frozen?
but you know what? But you can hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay.
I don't
Okay.
know where to
So
move to get a better signal. I got 5 bars.
don't move.
Too bad.
Just stay
Okay,
put.
I won't move.
Don't move. Okay. So Heather, I know you're like overall badass. You've been around the industry for a while. So like you have 25 years of sales and marketing. Now, has that always been in tobacco?
No, actually, it was started in the financial services industry. I was a stockbroker for a long time. I've actually only been in the tobacco business for about 6 years. But
Awesome.
when you have the sales skills and the people skills, it's just kind of like insert widget.
Okay, so let's fast forward. So you fell in love with the tobacco industry. So tell us a little bit about some of the experience that you received throughout.
I didn't hear your question fully, but I'm just going to start by saying I actually started an interest in tobacco by being in a women's smoking group. And once a month, we would get together and then we would have a manufacturer kind of host us and talk about a cigar and get together and socialize. And I was one of those people that said, this looks a lot of fun hiring. And that's how I fell into the business. I wasn't even seeking being in the tobacco industry. It just worked out by happenstance, starting by hanging out with ladies who smoke. And
That's awesome.
I just wanted a piece of the action. I like a lot of fun. What's not fun about smoking and drinking and equalizing?
How cool. So you've been with some big brands. Tell us about that and how you got. No, so before you go into that, Heather, for those who don't know, tell me exactly what a cigar broker is.
Well, a cigar broker is like I equate it to being kind of a pharmaceutical rep. You go door to door and your brand for other manufacturers who may not be able to afford their own salesperson. So several months I work for myself and I get paid strictly on commission.
Okay. So fast forward.
Does that make me the Mary Kay salesperson of Chico?
That's good. So instead of a pink car, do you get like a green car?
Wouldn't that be great?
Instead of Mary Kay car.
Somebody should give me a car.
Right. Should do a green card. But anyways, so are you still active in the Army?
I am not active in the Army. I was in the Army many moons ago, and then when my children were born, I stopped being Army. And fast forward 20 years later, both my daughter and my son are active currently. So I guess the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
Right. Well, thank you for that service, and I so appreciate and appreciate that you are in the cigar industry now. So.
Now, I will say that the Army probably got me ready for working in a male-dominated industry. So I will say for the last 30-some years, I've literally been working in a male-dominated industry. So I guess I've just adapted and overcome.
That's great. Because I was going to ask you about that. Like, do you feel like that gave you, that strength to like deal with all these men? Yeah. Besides being a mom.
I think as females in the animated industry, you all know that it doesn't matter what it is. You have to run faster, jump higher, and have better speech than, the average male in order to be even put on the same playing level. So
absolutely,
if a manufacturer is smart, or a hiring manager or whatever, they will look to the women to be the harder workers, and to be more organized, and to have more personality when in regard to making that consumer relationship.
right,
I'm
right.
very good at building relationships, and that's really sales is about, building the relationship and solve them.
Right, absolutely. So, Heather, tell me, you used to work for Drew Estate, is that correct?
I did, yeah. And before that, I was
Okay.
the national manager for Grand Habano.
Wow. So that's pretty huge. Like, how did you transition from Drew Estate and then where you're at now? Like, what made you make that transition?
They helped me make that. So wasn't a good fit for what they were to do, and nobody works harder for me than myself. So it felt well for me. Although,
awesome.
On a brighter note, that helped me make relationships that I have now in order to be successful as a broker.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that's what we want, right? Okay. So I know you got to get back to work, Heather. So but before we move on to our next guest, tell me one personal pet peeve that you have. It doesn't have to be about tobacco, but your own personal pet peeve.
Can you ask that question one more time? It was broken up, and I'm sorry that the connection is so terrible.
I know. Sorry, sorry I lost you for a minute.
I mean, we're
I know.
building,
Reception here is so terrible.
We're doing the best to work with. Yeah.
So did you hear my last question?
So what was your question again?
So just before we move on, tell me one personal pet peeve that you have. It doesn't have to be about tobacco, just your own personal pet peeve.
My personal pet peeve in general is that if I'm a retailer and I run out of something, I'm not waiting for somebody to stop into my store. I'm going to give them a call. So, if I'm there 6 weeks later, but you ran out of product in 2, why are you mad at me? Call me and tell me you're out.
Communication. That's the key.
So,
right?
Nobody runs out. You call and you order. Are you waiting for somebody to show up at your door? I'm not going to order because she didn't show up. I'm like,
right.
You're 400 miles away. Call me.
Right. I hear you. I think that key communication is, oh my God, that's everything, right? So
yeah, we have Heather, a lot of technology. You can call, you can text, you can email. Yes.
Right. Although technology is sometimes challenging, but Heather, I want to thank you so much. I know you got to get back, but you are welcome to stick around if you can, so that we can get into some deeper questions at the end. So if you can, stick around, okay? Yeah. But thank you so much for your time, and I'll see you out on the floor. Yeah. Okay. Hey. So at this time, I just want to thank you all. At this time, I want to bring on my beautiful sister, Nikki, the smokeologist.
What's up?
Come on, sis.
Great interview. So much information.
It's so challenging with the audio, so I apologize.
But you guys rocked it like you rock everything else.
Right. All right. Well,
I'll catch you on the flip.
Babe.
All right. Okay. What's good, everybody? Thank you guys for tuning in today. And I want to bring in our next guest, Miss Enid Blanton, who is the owner of Ancestry Cigars.
Hi, how are you?
Hey, how are you, my dear?
I'm fine. How are you?
Welcome to the show.
How are you doing?
I'm good. So, how's the weather in Chi-Town right now?
Today it's raining and in the 70s. We're getting remnants of Elsa.
Oh no,
Yeah,
that's
so
not
it's
cool.
it's raining, but it's like a humid rain, so it's pretty
Okay,
decent. I mean, it's manageable. I was outside for a little while, and I'm probably gonna go back out later on.
got you, got you. Well, first of all, I want to thank you because for those that don't know, Miss Blanton is a veteran, and I had one question. What branch did you serve in?
I was in the Air Force.
Awesome. That is awesome. Well, thank you for serving our country. Really, really appreciate it. All right, guys. So for those who don't know, this woman is a trailblazer with what I'm about to tell you. Listen to me now. She has her cigar line in the United Kingdom. Her cigars will be sold at Arthur George Cigar Lounge starting in September of this year. Girl, I guess you didn't let COVID slow you down at all, huh?
No, COVID's been good to Ancestry. It really has helped me focus.
So how did that, can you tell us a little bit, how did that come to be with going over to the UK?
Actually, Cigar Royal, as you all know, she's out of Phoenix, Arizona. She was in the Air Force as well, and she was friends with them because she used to be stationed and over there. And they had saw her interview that she did with me, and they asked her, how do we contact her? How can we get her in our lounge? And she basically hooked us up. We spoke. We did a Zoom meeting, and they're gonna be in the UK.
Look at SOTL's doing the damn thing.
Mhm.
That's what I'm talking about. That is awesome. How did you come up with the name Ancestry?
Well, Ancestry, I came up with that name because it was to honor my ancestors that had died. So in 2018, I lost my grandmother. Then in
Oh,
2019, I lost my dad. And then, as everybody knows, some people know, some people don't. But a week ago, my mom just passed.
I'm sorry for your loss, sweetheart.
Thank you,
I
thank
did see
you,
that. I'm sorry for your loss.
thank you.
Oh, okay. So can you tell our viewers a little bit about your cigars, like what blends you have and where they're made?
So my cigars come out of Nicaragua.
Hmm.
I have Ecuadorian wrappers with Nicaragua filler binders. We have a Maduro, we have a Habano, and we're rebranding the Connecticut because we're thinking about I'm actually testing samples now to switch to Connecticut to a Lucero.
Oh, I love me a Lancero. Ain't
And then
nothing
we
like a
also
Lancero.
have the Firecracker Habanos and the Firecracker Maduros, which those come out of the Dominican Republic.
Great, great. So with your brand crossing over oceans, literally,
Mhm.
do you find it hard to balance your personal life, with being in the cigar industry?
Yes, I do. I really find it where, like,
Ooh, we can't hear you, sweetie.
can you hear me now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I don't have any privacy anymore. Literally, when I go out, people expect to, they don't care if I'm grocery shopping, they don't care if I'm at the doctor, they don't care anymore. They want that time. So I've even been in the airports where people have stopped me and they've been like, I know who you are, so on and so forth. And I've been like, I'm looking back like, okay, did I do something wrong or something like that? But I really do balance it more now than what I did when I first started. Because especially with my mom being sick, I've been off the road now for 2 months, and it's enabled to me to focus on the lounges, getting in lounges here in Illinois and the surrounding states.
Okay. Awesome, awesome. Um, what have you learned about yourself that you didn't know before? Because I know this industry can be very, very challenging. So have you learned anything new about yourself?
Yeah, that I'm really about not taking no.
Hmm.
I don't do well with no. So I'll keep pushing and pushing no matter if I have to come back to the lounges or the cigar shops 6 months later.
Hmm.
No, I mean I don't believe it, no.
I know that's right.
Mhm.
So with that, I know you said that you like to be accessible to your clients. I heard you say that when they call, if there's a problem, that they actually talk to you, and you wanted to keep that up. But girl, the way you growing, do you think that you're going to be able to attain that?
Honestly, no.
See, that's no. So how you gonna handle that?
I don't know how much longer I'm gonna be able to handle that. As we're coming up on our 1 year anniversary, and because my mom's funeral is coming up this week, we will only be focusing in on online orders, so
Hmm.
that the person I've temporarily brought in can do the online orders. I will be shutting the business down effective tomorrow until August 1st.
Okay.
Because we have a lot of stuff that we have to get done because next month is our 1 year anniversary.
Congratulations early.
Thank you. So we have a lot of paperwork with the state that we have to get filed, and then we're making quite a bit of changes. I'm going to be making. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, but this is to take us into the future because we're already planning on releases for next year.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Well, listen. I want to commend you on your strength because, oh my gosh, when I know there's this a saying that talks about Black women and our strength, and you are definitely strong. So thank you again for being on. But stick around because I'm
Okay.
about to throw it back to my girl,
Okay.
Ar- Arlene.
Okay.
All right, y'all. So we're gonna go back to PCA with my sis Arlene.
Hey, I'm back.
Hey, what's
You
going
you
on?
can't ever get sick of this face, right?
Never, never, not at all, not at all.
Well, I am super excited. Like we've got so many sisters of the leaf that are just like doing their thing. Like incredible, incredible things just growing in the industry. I mean, we are just rocking this industry, y'all. So thank you all so much. But I want to bring on Christine Odell.
Hi.
Hey, Christine. That's my beautiful sister, Christine, y'all. So look, Christine is from my home state, and we're in the same area too, right? Christine, California.
Yes.
And then you're in what area?
I live in Glendora.
Okay, so we're like right there. Like we're like sister cities.
Yes.
Because I'm right in Corona. So, Christine, you are another female sister of the leaf. You're another cigar broker out
Yes.
there. Now you're a newbie,
Yes.
but man, you're rocking the shit out of the industry. Like I'm hearing so many great things about you, and what impresses me the most about you, Christine, is like you're really wanting to grow. You're learning. You are, like really looking at people in mentoring you, and you're really taking all that in. So tell me how you fell in love with this industry and what brought you to this point.
So I started smoking cigars. My husband introduced me to it, and I enjoyed it as a pastime that we were able to do together. And then I learned more and more about the history of cigars, and I just fell in love with the camaraderie, all the passion that goes behind the brands. So I dabbled a little bit in some retail. I started going to events and meeting manufacturers, and then I was at the right place at the right time, and I fell into um, a, a broker position with Casa Clava Cigars.
Wow. And I love that family. Like they are such an awesome family.
Absolutely.
So they're so personable.
Yes.
So I'm sure that wasn't um, it wasn't too hard to like totally fall in love with them and them falling in love with you.
Absolutely.
Right?
You meet them and you feel
Okay.
like you've known them for years.
Wow. So okay, so you're California based and you're their first rep in California. That's a female,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And then you also have North Carolina.
Yes.
Okay. So tell me this, Christine. One day I called you and you were cooking.
Mm-hmm.
It was like 5 or 6 o'clock. You were cooking, and with all of that, so tell me how you juggle all of this. You're a mom.
Yes.
So do you work elsewhere too during the day, like, or
No,
you take care of your husband, you take care of the house? Like, tell me all how you juggle all that.
So my husband works evening, so he's home during the day. He helps with taking the kids to school and things. I actually have 2 older kids, so that helps out a lot. I kind of will check in throughout the day. The nice thing about a broker position is that I can make my own schedule, and family always helps as well. So if I have to go anywhere out of town where I stay overnight, then I have family that comes and stays with the kids as well. Yeah, so family helps.
How awesome. And how are you liking PCA? Is this your first year or?
This is my second year. 2019 was my first year.
Okay.
And the show floor for 2019 was definitely a lot bigger.
Yes.
But I also heard that it was a lot less traffic. So I feel like with it being a smaller trade show, it feels like it definitely has a lot more traffic. And definitely, I think a great show for boutique cigars. Because the big 4 opted not to show up to PCA, so it definitely gives more space for boutiques to take a stand.
Right. Wow. So, tell me a little bit about the boutiques. How are you liking working with Casa Cuevas?
I love Casa Cuevas. I love the people. I love the brand. I really feel like that's a brand that has something for everyone's palate. If you want something that's full-bodied, if you want something that's more mild or even medium to full, we have something across the board for everyone's palate. Spicy, creamy, whatever have it. As far as boutiques, I really love boutiques because I feel like because they need to take a stand and make a name for themselves, they're going to give you 110% and everything that they have the best from the beginning. You can really understand the passion and the blood, sweat, and tears that goes behind the brand when you hear their story and meet the people. So I really love boutique brands.
How awesome. I think that's so important for people to hear that boutiques are really up and coming. They're here and they're doing really well in a lot of the retail stores, right?
Absolutely.
Right. Right. So how many stores is in California carry Casa Cuevas?
I think when I checked at TPE, I had just under 24 stores. That includes some distributors and wholesales. Yes, about 24. When I started with Cuevas, I started January of 2020, and then everything shut down. So travel was very limited, but there's a huge passion behind the brand, and everyone who smokes them falls in love with them. So we're in 24 and counting.
Wow. That's incredible. You're doing such an amazing job, Christine. Like you make us proud as females out here. So now, before we move forward, just tell me one thing that Christine does for Christine. What do you do for self-care?
I like to get my nails done, get pedicure, get my hair done. Just anything that makes me feel good and makes me feel, because we want to feel beautiful to others, but I want to feel beautiful for myself too. So I make sure I do that self-care too.
Aw, pampering yourself.
Just a little
That's
bit.
good. That's great. So, I appreciate you and I love you. And so if you can hang in with us for a little bit longer, just stay tuned, okay?
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Christine. So I want to bring on my other beautiful sister, Louie. Ma Lou. Uh-oh.
There you go. Better?
Yes, I can hear you, sis.
Thank
She's always so
you.
beautiful.
Oh my gosh.
Whatever.
Whatever. You look who's talking. Look who's talking. Oh my God, amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing interviews y'all have had.
Doesn't
so
it just make you feel so proud to be a female?
I'm inspired.
Yes.
I'm inspired. The strength and, you know, just the fact that we're all out there doing what we do in this industry, it just inspires me to do more.
Right. And they're grinding.
They are.
Like, they're grinding.
They are. Man.
We take cute pictures, but we work our asses off.
You know it. It's not all about the cute pictures, y'all.
Right.
So who do we have next? It helps. Absolutely. So, sis, I think I have Janitress next. Right?
Yeah.
There she is. Hello, beautiful.
Hello, how are you?
I am good. This is so cozy.
I know.
Right?
I love the plant in the back.
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you so much for accepting our invitation and being a part of the Sisters of the Leaf, and for us to launch this series and to have so many amazing women that are on board and doing amazing things out there. So I'm going to walk everyone through your journey in cigars, okay? Because this is the first introduction of you to everyone on the show. And so you are located in the Bay Area, correct? You're out of Vallejo. And I raised my children up in Sacramento. So that's why I specifically wanted to interview you.
Oh.
So my first question to you is, when did you fall in love with cigars?
Well, it was a little over probably 6 to 7 months ago. My business partners and I were looking for a space. So we opened Her Cigar Lounge in Sacramento, California. We're all from the Bay Area. And we always wanted a place where we could come together with people that look just like us, be comfortable in a quaint space and not have any judgment, but do what we wanted to do. And that was to build communities, build a culture. And we, you know, understood the cigar space, and we wanted to make sure we built a lounge around our culture and what we wanted to do. So we found that opportunity in Old Sacramento in a very nice location, right across from the Railroad Museum, down in a courtyard. And it's been fun. You know, we control it because it's a private lounge. So we know we can control the narrative. That's what we love. You know, it's not just a store where anybody can come in and we got to worry about things we don't want to do. We control the whole space.
I love it. Now, you say you have partners. Are you the only woman in your partnership group?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So you bring in all the woman power.
Yes, and you know, I'm a businesswoman, entrepreneur, anyways, with a background in healthcare. Been a retired nurse, but been a nurse for over 20 years.
Oh wow!
So it's exciting because, you know, once I get involved in something, it's like, let's go. So it's been fun having partners, because that's different for me. But there are some amazing gentlemen, and we just have a good time, and it's an amazing space.
It is. You know, Michael and I, we were in Sacramento, April, for his birthday. And we happened to eat dinner at a restaurant right next door. And so we had met your partners then, but you guys weren't open then.
Nope.
And you guys have a great location because it is in Old Sacramento. And I've always loved Old Sac. I mean, that's a great tourist spot. You know, everybody likes to go there because it just brings a different energy and it has that different feel. So why Sacramento? Because I know that, you know, Michael and I haven't been up in the Northern California for quite some time. And so when we went to visit in April, there were a lot of changes. A lot of cigar lounges were closed. And because there's so many laws against smoking and, you know, and tobacco, period, in that state, Northern California never had the same culture as Southern California, where we were living at the time. Why did you guys select Sacramento first and foremost? And then that location. It's you guys are going to do a great job there because there's nothing else around there, cigar wise. So why Sacramento?
So Sacramento, you know, it's up and coming. It's a lot of growth in Sacramento. Sacramento is huge. And I'll say this as a person that grew up in the Bay Area, I only went to Sacramento for Black Family Day at the park. So I'm in Sacramento at least 3 to 5 times a week now. So I'm like, oh my God, all these different freeways. It's a huge community. Yes. It's like a lot of different little boroughs. And Sacramento is great for businesses. It's a state capital. It's a lot of business people there. And that's the type of setting we have in regards to an older, more mature group. And it's a lot of opportunities in Sacramento. And that's why we chose it.
And you guys are not that far from the new stadium. Well, it's not so new anymore.
Yeah, not new anymore, but we're
new
close.
Anymore. Yeah,
it's in the hub. You know, we're right there where everything is at.
Yeah, by the Capitol. A lot of cigar smokers, you know, that work for the Capitol. Do you find it challenging to get the cigar market and cigar culture back into that community? Because it seems like there was a lull there for a period of time.
I would say no, because we're in that tourist area. We get a lot of traffic that actually we have to figure out how to accommodate with day passes and weekend passes, because we are a private members lounge. But because we're in a tourist area and our sign is there, we get a lot of knocks on the door. If I come out or anybody come out, they want to come in. So we do tours. We do events where people can rent the space if there's members that's not using it at the time. But it hasn't been really a lull for us. And because people are coming out and we're in that tourist area and people are traveling again, it's been exciting. And people are like, oh my God. And we're on a, I guess you call it like a wayfinder for the old Sacramento registry. So people know before they get there that we're there.
See, that's amazing. And now as far as women go, do you find that there's an increase in the number of women smoking cigars in SAC?
It is amazing how many women are smoking cigars, especially of color. And it's exciting because even if they never smoked a cigar, but they come with somebody, a partner or a friend, they want to try it. So they have that opportunity. And, you know, we have a variety, and we have one person that's like a huge connoisseur. So he really, you know, educates on it. He helps the people and all these other things. But it's really fun because you see them get excited about the culture and what they've seen either visiting other places, because a lot of people I've met only smoke cigars when they travel, because I travel a lot as well. So it's just interesting to see the culture and the community growing.
I love it. And you know, it excites me because that is home for me. That's where our kids are. And our grandbabies. So, you know, that's home. And so to hear that, you know, the cigar culture is growing, the community is growing. Michael and I are going to be producing the Napa Wine and Spirit Festival. And so we're really excited to do more business with you. And I hope that you guys join us for the festival as well. But what I'm going to do, I want to bring you back on board for the open forum section.
Okay.
And so I have so many other questions that I want you to jump in too in the discussion when we have the open forum discussion, because your input is very valuable as a cigar retailer and being, you know, woman and a woman of color. Congratulations to you and your partners on that.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Amazing interviews.
Welcome. Thank you so much. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring our last interview, and it's going to be Ty. Where are you, Ty? Unmute, babe.
Hey, sis, how you doing?
Good. You good?
Good. I'm good.
Had an amazing intro.
Oh my God, it's been, this whole session's been dope.
It has been.
I mean, just to see their strength and the things that they've gone through or are currently going through, and to be able to just continue to strive and pave the way.
It's inspiring, isn't it?
It's freaking amazing. I mean, here I am over here beating myself up and stuff, and I'm like, brush your shoulders off, chick.
Exactly. You know, and I love the fact that you also mentioned that, you know, we're proving that women can work together.
Yes.
And build each other up and share. There's so much space out there
for
all of us to work in. And so the next guest that you're going to bring on board is a cigar influencer just like you are. And I put you two together because you both have Facebook groups that have grown massively in the past few years. And so I knew that you guys would have a lot in common. And so I'm going to hand it off to you so that you can bring Miss Francis on.
All right.
Okay.
Well, hey, you guys, coming up next, you don't want to miss it. It's your favorite cigar chaser, none other than Miss Frances Martinez out of New York. What's up, Fran?
What's up, y'all?
What's up? As I stated earlier, Frances is a huge influencer in this industry, not just in New York, but in the industry for both men and women. I've been following her for a while before I got to meet her at the Megahertz in 2019. She has over 3,800 members in her group. Sis, just thank you again for gracing our platform yet again with your New York flavor. We appreciate that. You have
No,
no
I
clue.
appreciate
No
every
clue.
moment y'all give me.
Yes,
Y'all
yes,
the
we
best.
appreciate that. So my first question to you, as a fellow female influencer, with the Cigar Group on Facebook, as Louis talked about, how hard was it for you, or how hard is it for you, to grow your following, and like what steps did you take to do that?
I was just being myself. And I think that's something that a lot of people are trying too hard, to get in this industry. They're doing
Yes.
too much instead of just being yourself. And that's what I think crossed me over to a lot of people because I
Okay.
just being myself.
And yourself is an amazing self, so why
Oh,
not?
thank you, love.
You got some that hate, but if you ain't got no haters, you ain't popping. So that's what they
Hello, all the
say.
time.
That's what they say. You've been in this game for a while. How long have you been smoking?
20 years,
Oh, okay.
but I've been more serious in the past 12.
Okay. Okay. So you kind of like me. I've been smoking for the last 12, but
Hmm.
seriously for the last probably right at 7. I'm going to 8 years.
Okay.
So wow, that's a long time. 20 years ago. It don't even seem
Yeah.
like it's been that long, has it?
Yeah. Started on the millennium, 2000.
Wow.
Yeah.
How difficult was that back then at that time
Well, I
versus
needed it because, due to the Twin Towers
yeah,
collapse. So here in New York, and that's what really drove me into some sort of finding a vice that will calm me at those hard times that New York
needing an
was going
outlet,
through.
needing an
Yes.
outlet, basically. Well, that's
Yes.
that's I mean that's amazing. I hate the reason why I brought you into the culture, but I'm grateful, that it got
Yes.
you through to this culture.
Yes.
So
Yes.
for that alone, that's amazing. You're probably the first person I've heard that said that they use cigar as a device to kind of get through that, especially that part of it, because that was so tragic for
Yes.
not just people individual, but just the world. Period. Even if you didn't know anybody
Yes.
personally, it was just a tragic time, for
Yes.
us.
Absolutely.
So,
And this
so
saved my life,
I think it saved a
my
lot of
sanity.
it saved a lot of lives.
Oh man, you don't
So,
know.
sis, what do you do to be taken seriously in this industry, not just by men, but by other sister of the leaves that are in this industry?
Showing respect back. You know,
Mm,
you show me
that's key.
respect, I'm gonna respect you back. That's
That's definitely
one.
key.
That's one of the main things. And if I see you serious in it, I'm gonna appreciate that you're passionate.
Right.
If you in it for the wrong reasons, I'm gonna treat you like for the wrong reasons.
All
You know
right.
what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is.
I think that's important. That is
Yes, it
definitely
is
important. Some of
because
us don't, a lot of people in this industry don't do that, especially
no.
as females. And I know for me personally, I wear stuff on my face before it ever comes out my mouth. So, and I've been practicing trying to fix it, but I'm 4 years old, so it ain't gonna happen probably.
We're already embedded in how
Yes,
you
it's
are.
probably not going to happen. I've accepted that and I'm okay with it. I tend to have a resting bitch face at times, but it's okay.
It's
So,
okay.
and I think in this industry you have to have a poker face,
Yes.
in some instances, but in other instances it's good to have somebody to pull your coattail and tell you when you're wrong or tell you when you're right. Now, how
Right.
hard is that as an influence? I know for me, it's been hard with females when you want to try to correct them or steer them in a different direction because you hear things that maybe other people don't hear, or they may hear it later. But for me, like I would hear things first, because of, I guess, of what stage I've set for myself. So I would hear things first. And so when you go to a fellow person that's, you've influenced and have followed you or whatever, and they, always call you for things, or they see you when you get out, they follow you places. How hard is it to pull, another female's coattail. I know for me here in Atlanta, it's been a little rough to correct women when they're wrong, or correct people, period, when they're wrong. Or point things out. They always look at it as, oh, I'm hating, or oh, you're not this, or it's just that I don't want you out here looking like an idiot. So I want you to, to be respected in this industry, especially if you're gonna be in it. So how hard is that to be able to do from where you're at? Are you still there,
Well,
sweetie? Can you hear me? Francis? I think her screen's frozen. Can you hear me? Can you hear me better, Fran?
I think she did freeze, sis.
I think she did too, sis.
Yeah. Let's
She may
see
have
if
to come back in.
yeah. But
Yeah,
I'll keep
hopefully.
you company till she comes back if that's all right.
Yeah, hopefully she'll keep us posted. Because I'm very interested to know her
Oh, here she is.
insight.
Here she is.
She's
Hang
back.
on.
I'm sorry.
There she is. I'm out.
I'm
Oh,
so
that's okay.
sorry.
That's okay. Did you
It
get my
froze
last
up.
question?
No, I didn't. I'm sorry.
Okay, so like, how hard is it for you as an influencer in this industry? For me, I know it's kind of hard for when you want to pull a person's coattail or tell them when they're wrong. And so
Hmm.
I know for me, I've set a certain stage for myself where people look at at me as an influencer. So how hard is it to pull a coattail for that?
It is hard because it's very sensitive
Mm,
situation because some people are really thinking they're doing it right.
right.
And so it's like I have a situation now that I have a good friend and I'm like, you're doing too much. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you got the same issues I got then with having to hurry up and get them get them out of the way and tell them, and sometimes they take it, sometimes they don't. But we'll get a little bit more into that in our next segment because we're gonna get down to some. It's time to get down to the nitty gritty part of things now, guys. This is a part of the segment where we're gonna get a little bit more intimate with the guests that we have left here on the show. Well, again, we thank you for the ones that came on, took your time out for the from PCA and came in and spoke with us and chatted. We really appreciate that. It means a lot to us here on this show today. But we're gonna dig a little bit deeper with the ones that are left, and Francis, you'll be able to elaborate on that question a little bit better. So if you can get audience, you can get your questions together, and co-host, you can get your questions together, and we're gonna dig a little bit deeper into these questions and ask some questions that nobody wants to answer, if that's okay with y'all, and see if we can, find out a little bit about these sisterly leaves, find out a little bit of how they've paved their way in this industry, and just dig a little bit deeper. So, Lou, if I can get you back in here and take us in on to the next segment.
All right. So thank you, Ty. You and Francis, you guys got it going on. I knew pairing you two together would bring out some interesting topics, being that you guys are responsible for some Facebook groups, and that's a challenge in itself. And we're going to talk more about that. So normally on this What's Good platform, we have different segments, and Nikki has a segment, Ty has a segment, Arlene has a segment. But this one, we wanted to include an open forum segment where we're going to talk about some intimate women issues that we deal with in the community and also in the industry. So let's bring everyone back, whoever is left. Arlene's still here. We got Ty. We got Janitress, Enid, and Francis. Nikki. All right. So you guys can unmute yourselves, and what we're going to talk about now is a little bit more intimate when it comes to women's issues in this community, in this industry. And the reason why we wanted to have an open forum discussion is because it's important to hear everyone's side of their story. And so this platform is a safe, no judgment platform, and I want you to be able to openly share some of the challenges that you guys have faced in the different areas of the industry that you actually work in. So we can mute ourselves if we're not talking, just so that there's no background noise. But but just jump in. And my first question is, as women in this industry and also as part of the community, I know that actually Ty actually hit on it earlier in her introduction, talking about women have a difficult time working with one another. And I know we've all dealt with that. And so one by one, and it doesn't matter who goes first, what are some of the situations that you've had to deal with, and how did you overcome those situations?
So for me, I'll go first.
Okay.
Since I brought that topic up, I mean, it's been pretty difficult here, like I said earlier. When you have women and you become friends with them here in this industry, I've had, a few, and without naming names, but for some reason you cannot straighten a sister's crown here. And I'm like, why? Why do we have to, why can't we straighten each other's crown? Why is that not okay for us to straighten each other's crown? And how do we straighten each other's crown and that person that's on the other end of it still be able to say, you know what, you might be right. Let me look into that. Let me figure out, let me get some other point of views. Don't, I'm not just saying just take my word for it, but start asking other people, because out of 10 friends that you have or associates, at least 2 of them are going to probably agree and say that, yeah, that's the truth. Other people, they just want to sugarcoat shit to try to, stay on your good side, and because they want something from you. I don't want anything from you. All I want from you is to be the best you can be at whatever that is, but be respected in this industry, not be, where you got to have a bad name for yourself with a bad attitude, or treating people ugly, or talking to people nasty. And we have a lot of that here, especially here in Atlanta, cigar culture. I can't speak for any other place, but being here, it is a lot of that. You can't sit at my table. And I'm like, bitch, I'm an Aries. I make my own table. So
But
how did you overcome that?
I don't think I've overcome it yet. I think I'm still in the midst of that storm.
Okay.
But I'm learning as I go.
Mm-hmm.
And I just still try to treat the person right, regardless of what they say, regardless of how they treat me. I still speak, whether you speak to me or not. I'm still going to speak. Why? Because I was raised right. And I wasn't raised by Neanderthal. So I was raised to speak to you even if you don't speak back to me. And that's a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
That's very hard to do, because people don't speak you thinking that they're humiliating you, but in turn they're really making themselves look like asses.
Exactly.
So, and I'm fine with that. If you want to walk around looking like a donkey, I ain't got that. That's cool with me. I'm fine with that, but I'm still gonna shine regardless, because I continue to treat you with respect across the board. When I see you in public, I'm not gonna talk bad. I'm not gonna ask anybody anything bad about you. And if somebody comes to me bad about you, I'm gonna shut the shit down and just be like, you know what? That's their business. I don't have anything to do with it. Because
and you know what? You've done that.
People will tend to add shit on to what you say.
You've done that for me time and time again, Ty, Arlene, Nikki. You guys have all done that for me. Where you hear some negative stuff that's out there, and it's coming from both men and women.
Yeah,
yeah. Have to be just women. The guys are just as bad.
Oh yeah.
So I truly want to say thank you for that, Francis. You've done the same, and I truly want to say thank you publicly that you guys have always been there and supported me, regardless of what anybody says. Right. Thank you. What was it that you had to say? I cut you off, Nick. Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. My thing is, I want to know why, especially with women of color, why is it that when we try to straighten out another sister's crown, it is looked upon as I'm being a bitch or this, that, and the other? Like, why can't it just be that I love you for being a Black woman and I don't want to see you making an ass of yourself?
Exactly.
For me, it was the rumorville. It was, when I first came onto the scene, it was all these rumors and this, that, and the other. And so the way that I handled it was I just dropped back. I was like, I stopped going to the lounges. I started smoking, at home or with my boyfriend, because I didn't want to be part of that cattiness. I don't deal with the cattiness. Oops, sorry, it was a fly. I don't deal well with the cattiness at all. So I'd be interested.
But isn't that like a form of them controlling you instead of you controlling it?
Rolling now.
See, that's I guess I look at it from a different lens.
Yeah.
And so I look at it as I'm not getting ready to let nobody run me out of nowhere I want to be at.
Well,
whether you want me here or not. And so
I guess I
that
didn't want to be around the negative energy. That's my
yeah,
thing.
and I get it. But sometimes you gotta be the ray of sunshine in a room of darkness, regardless.
Okay.
Because it's been hard for me too. I had to look at it the same way with certain
Mm-hmm.
situations. I wanted to, retreat and just step back and, pull out. But I'm like, why would I make myself irrelevant to make this person relevant? I'm not getting ready to do that.
Right.
I agree.
You will not
I
win.
know. I
Yeah.
agree. I know here in
Enid,
Chicago.
as a cigar maker, for you, you're coming out with your own brand. I know that you hear it.
Oh, I get it. I get it. Trust me.
How do you deal with that?
So basically, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So basically what I did, if anybody follows my story, I started building outside of the state because I got more love going to different states than I was getting here in Chicago. It was a big thing that was going on. One of the rumors that I experienced when I was here in Chicago was that I wasn't the first. Well, like I told them, I know when the tobacco people came to my house, they told me I was the first. So I'm not gonna argue with you about whether or not I'm the first, second, third, fourth, or fifth. I know what they told me because I have to pay the state. I get it a lot. I get it from men. I get it from women. And a lot of people have to understand it. Like I'm carrying the state for the women. And this is like everybody's watching. They're looking at they're looking at me under a microscope. They're waiting for me to fail. They're waiting for something to come out. So I really have to be careful about everything that I do. Like even with my husband as the president, he sits on the board. So we suppose we having a bad day, we still got to come out if we go into the lounges, and we still have to basically pretend like we're not having a bad day. Suppose sometimes he gets tired of going to the lounges, he just wants to relax. The first thing people, what's going on with you guys? Nothing. He's at home. He wants to relax, because I'm pretty much the face. I'm the one that everybody sees. Not unless I'm out of town, he'll go around and everything like that. But I get it a lot. I mean, we don't even have enough time for how much I get. We don't. Because you have to understand, like on the list, nationwide, it's not a lot of Black women on the list for cigar brands. It's not. Because I think now I'm like number 10 on the list, 10 or 11. So I catch hell. I really do.
Like what kind of hell do you catch? Can you give us an example?
I'm always getting tested about my cigar. That's number one. A lot of people don't think that I know what's in my cigar. They think I don't know anything about the process. And if a lot of people, like if you go on my social media, my factory, you actually got to see the rollers rolling my cigars, and my cigars in production with my shirt with my Ancestry cigars on. I am very much involved with what goes on in my factory. Only thing I have not visited down there. And I told them that is my goal, rather than, talking to them on the phone via Zoom, us having a meeting, is to go down there and thank them. It really is. Like even with my blends, when the first cigar came out, I went through 20 blends before I decided on that one.
Wow.
For the Connecticut. And then even with the Habano and Maduro, I went through about 20. And this was all going on during COVID. So they were literally sitting them up here, and I was testing them, and I was in my notebook writing down what I liked, what I didn't like, or saying this isn't it. So I go through a lot.
That's amazing. And for you, I mean, your strength shows. And
Yes.
I think all the ladies agree to that. You've been through a lot. And we just really commend you and congratulate you for all that you've accomplished in such a short time. But I truly understand when you
Girl power.
Exactly. You're a superwoman, honey.
Thanks.
I truly understand when you say that you have to prove yourself. And for some reason, it's easier for a man to come in and then for a woman to come in on the cigar side as a cigar brand owner all of a sudden you don't know anything that anything about your product. I mean, that to me just, it kills me every time. It kills me every time. Janitress, what is it as a cigar retailer that you deal with?
So the biggest thing is people with pricing, and I guess it's my skin color, or because I'm a woman, they think I'm at the swap meet. And I've been a businesswoman for a long time, and I always say, Nordstrom's, Bloomingdale's, you don't go in there and ask for a bargain. The sale is a sale that day, but and I'm okay with that. So I have a very strong posture when it comes to business, and I'm clear. And one of the pluses of having a lounge or private lounge is you control the narrative and you control the environment. So either you want to be a member or not. And that's how I look at it. And it gives us a big opportunity to build our own culture and be able to say who we want in our environment, who we want to do business with. And if we choose to have an event or allow you to have an event there, it's our choice because we own the environment. But it's always about money. I have not had but I'm not a cigar maker or anything like that. I'm super excited to hear all these stories. But my biggest thing is being tested about information, which I have business partners, and I say, talk to your brother or sister, because they just know who I am. But the biggest thing for me is either you want the environment, you want to come and have a good time, we get rave reviews, or you don't, and you can choose somebody else. But don't get mad when you show up at their door and you got to go put on a suit coat, and you can come to my lounge and you can have on some $1,000 shoes with some shorts. So, it just depends on what you want. I mean, because Lou already know, in Sacramento, we have some lounges that if you don't have a hat on, a blazer, and I get it. That's how they control their environment. They do what they want to do. But you can't not be a business owner, but want to control my business. So that's how I look at it.
Exactly. And Sacramento is a predominantly Caucasian cigar culture there.
Yes.
There's very few, if maybe two, black cigar lounges in Sacramento. Right. Unlike Atlanta, where you have how many? 200, 300?
We have I think we're at almost right at 300 now, a little over 300 maybe.
And a lot of them are black owned.
Yeah, it's quite a few here in the last probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Where a majority of them have become black owned. We have one guy here that has literally just the spot that he just opened up. I think it was this year. It's called the Studio. You look at the place, you can tell besides Fellowship, where you look at Cam Newton, he's in the entertainment industry. So, football industry. So he has money, to just throw away and do things with. But when you find a regular person that you used to smoke with all the time, or you used to see out in the regular lounges, and they are able to obtain not one, but two lounges at one time. He basically bought into an older lounge and then expanded and got an even bigger lounge. This is all in the same year that he did this. And this location is freaking phenomenal. And I work for a great location as well. But when I tell you this place is like something you've never walked into before, it's a very, very nice location. So it's a brother that owns it. But just to see how we've taken over here in Atlanta, is amazing from when I look back 7-8 years ago, or even 12 years ago when I had my first cigar. Right. So it's vastly different now.
Well, just like in Northern California, so Atlanta has a little similarity to Los Angeles. Arlene, and what I love about this forum right now is that we have women from all parts of the nation. Right. And, and every city has different culture, right? We got Maryland has a completely different culture. New York, Chicago, Atlanta. Now, Northern California, you guys are starting to build that culture. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen up there. Now, Los Angeles has, and having lived there, Arlene, you can speak on it. And I want Arlene to share the reason why she started her Facebook group, because she has a very interesting story with respect to a woman in this community. Go ahead, Arlene.
Okay, so I started my Facebook group because there was a group out there, and it was probably, I want to say, like maybe 7 years now. 7 years ago, there was a lot of groups that was starting out, right? And there was an all-man cigar group out there, and there was a few of them, but I wanted to join because my husband was on there, so I said, hey, I want to be part of that group. Like, I want to learn, I want to be involved and participate, right? So I had requested to be a member, and they wouldn't allow me to be a member. So I thought, well, that's kind of screwed up. I really said, that's kind of fucked up. But it was, so I was really upset about that and hurt. And I said, well, you know what? Screw them. I'm going to start my own all-girl cigar group. Okay. So I started that. And originally it was, what was it? It's now 50 Shades of Smoke. I don't even remember what it was before, but it's 50 Shades of Smoke. I think it was my big cigars, big, I forgot, you guys. But anyways, so I started that, but it became really popular, and even men wanted to join and be a member. And so I said, you know what? I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to open it up and just let everybody participate. And it's been incredible. It's been great. We interact, and everyone is respectful. I have like probably over 2,000 followers now. I mean, it's great. And to me, it's not about the quantity of the followers or the members. It's about the quality. What is it? What are we doing with our Facebook groups? What are we doing with social media? Is it meaningful? Are we encouraging one another, especially us sisters? We all have to do better. And it's not just, it's all colors to me, that we have to do better. We have to encourage one another. We have to totally support, and I always, when I say sis, it's because I mean it, and it doesn't matter that I don't know you, that I only know you on social media. But when we call each other sisters, I do mean that, because at the end of the day, we are, regardless of the competition out there, regardless of what's going on around us, we have to all do better to encourage and inspire. And so I think having this platform, it's been so incredibly helpful to bring on knowledge. We're all sharing our knowledge in our own areas, different states that we live in. So I think it's just amazing how we can all come together. Look at us right now, and share our stories and encourage other people.
I love it.
So, but also men, men have to do better. We have to all support one another, and I look at some of these, like, the lives and in the men groups and stuff, and some of the topics that they talk about is just not meaningful in the tobacco industry. It's not meaningful in life general. Like how is it? We really have to be, I think, mindful and thoughtful about what our topics are. What are we talking about? We can sit here.
And I love, not to cut you off, but I love that, because I think we all agree, and I think Jermaine Wimberly actually made a comment that men of color also have to deal with some stuff in this industry. So what we're going to do, what's good, is we're going to have a Brother of the Leaf series as well.
Hell yeah.
So the men can come up here and talk about some of the issues that they deal with. But right. I absolutely agree with you, Arlene. I think we all need to do better.
Yes.
And that segues me to is Frances frozen? Frances, she is frozen. I wanted to talk about New York, because they have a different culture up there as well. Fran, right. Are you back? Frances. I love it when we're frozen, because we end up having
Can
But
I
go ahead, Nick.
can I jump in? I wanted to ask
Yeah,
Enid a question. Enid, you still there, sweetie?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm still here.
You had said something about a list, and it made me think of a list that's going around. So how do you feel about being chosen to be on the Black-owned cigars list?
It's an honor and a privilege. Let me say this. When that list came out, um, that was right after my mom had passed. So I was literally at the family reunion. My phone was blowing up. Text messages going off, and I'm like, "What's wrong? What's going on?" And people were literally sending the list, and I just froze because I couldn't believe it. And so, it's really for this to be our first year. It's an honor and a privilege to be on that list, especially with people who I know have been around longer than I have. For example, AJ with Alurum Cigars, he's from Chicago, so I'm friends with him. And to be on that list, and the first thing after I saw the list and I saw our name, I was going on there counting to see how many females were on there. That's what I did, because I know, it's a lot more females out there. But when I built Ancestry, I did not build Ancestry to only be known as Black. I built Ancestry to go across all spectrums. Ancestry cigars are for anybody, whatever type of palate that you have. Don't get me wrong, it's nice to be, it's excellent to be on that list, but I just don't want to be labeled as a Black brand. I want to be labeled as a brand for everyone. I do think that the list needs to expand because it's way more Black boutique brands out there. It's quite a few that I know that should be on that list if they weren't on the list. And one thing I didn't like about how they did the list, whether or not they were able to verify them or not, they still need to give them their credit. Because if you notice, the ones that were in blue, those were the ones they were able to verify. And then the ones in black, they couldn't verify, which I don't understand how they could not do that, especially if everybody's buying them.
Well, that leads me to my next question, that being that the list wasn't compiled by a major cigar source, why do you feel that it was important for the list to be created?
It's because we need to know.
Okay.
Everybody, you have a lot of people that I call cigar, they're not cigar literate. They say brand literate.
Okay.
So they need to know, because like a lot of those brands, they're not here in Chicago. When I travel, I am able to get those brands. When I go to Florida, I'm able to get some of those brands. When I go to Baltimore, I'm able to get some of those brands. So that list needed to be compiled. So hopefully some of the lounges here can start bringing those brands in, because one lounge I'm in, actually two lounges I'm in here, they're creating a wall for Black boutique brands.
Wow.
So that's what we have here in our lounge.
I think it's
we have one.
What?
We have one in Atlanta that says that.
And
So
I'm listening.
No, go ahead.
And as a manufacturer, you need that support. You need that push, in order to get you out there, because you're competing with a lot of brands.
So do you think once you get there, I'm sorry, sis.
No, go ahead.
Do you think once you reach that level, like for me, the club that I work at, we have a section that's for Black-owned cigar section. And so I've had people come in. I don't know if you're in any of the Atlanta stores, but I'd be interested in, helping you get transitioned over to our lounge.
Okay.
And we'll talk about that behind the scenes.
I love it.
So I'm interested in knowing, do you ever think that it'll get to a point where you're no longer on the Black side, but just mixed in with the regular brands now? Because you don't want to be just for Black people, you want to be for all palates. So at what point do we break away from taking them off the wall that specifically says Black owned and sticking them in between the Padrones and the AJ Fernandez and the Arturo Fuentes, because they can hold their own just like those brands can?
I'm hopeful hopefully within the next 2 years, we'll be able to start moving into just being a known brand and not having the color label on it. Because
Yes.
actually one of the places that we're in, tobacco land, that's in Munster, Indiana, I'm actually the only black person in there.
Wow.
Wow.
So my stuff,
Dopeness.
like literally when you walk in their humidor, if I'm not mistaken, my cigars are right next to. So New World is below me. Then Hiram and Solomon is next to me. So literally, when you walk in there, you don't know that it's a black brand because it's all like literally this man in his humidor. He has, I want to say, maybe 1,000 different cigar brands in there.
Wow.
Wow.
So
Sound
you
like we
don't
need to go to
know.
Indiana.
Right.
And the thing about it is, when I go in there, because I like my husband and I, we shop in tobacco land to get our different cigars and everything like that. And when people see me, and the guy Charlie that works the humidor there, he'll be like, "That's her right there," and they'll go, "Look, that's not her," and he's like, "Yes, that's her," you know. And one thing about that humidor that I like is they educate people, and it's different walks of life that come in there because it's literally right off the interstate.
Okay.
So
And then,
everybody gets to smoke it.
and
But
I
I
know
think that's important.
in Houston, which I really like, and we're looking at that, is the Faces of Houston. They have a humidor, and the humidor is organized based on price. So
Mhm.
you have to put a label on it. If you know you already like a certain brand of cigars, you know that price range, but they have it organized based on price. So you get, I mean, you would be able to blend into that and won't
Mm-hmm.
just on the black wall, because they have, different levels of pricing, and that's how they communicate with their humidor staff.
Okay.
So that's a different way to get blended into outside.
Yeah, 'cause I think that's important to do. And at some point, I would like to take our humidor and get to a point where we just blend all of our things in together, where there is no label put on it. It's just a damn good stick. That's the
Right.
label that I want
Well, if you
to be
notice,
associated with it.
if you
Right.
follow my cigars, I get this from a lot of people. I don't have labels. I have ribbons.
Yes,
Mhm.
they're so
I have
cute with
ribbons,
the
and
polka
a lot.
dots.
I get so much flack, and the thing about it is, when Pravada Club reached out to us, and for one, I'm gonna be honest, when I got the email, I didn't believe it. I was like, "Who's playing a joke?" And so when I talked to their director, Nick was like, "No, it's really us." And we want it with the ribbon on there. We don't want the labels. So that's the reason, because it's unique. Now I have some men, they're like, "Oh, that's too feminine. When you gonna switch to the labels?" But I did say that when we do a limited edition, we'll put a label on it.
Enid, I have a question for you.
Yes.
So, I mean, and first of all, I mean, thank you for, just knocking down those barriers, right? Like, that's amazing. So, but tell me, like, how do you market yourself? Do you do the marketing? How do you get into a retailer?
Basically how I get into a retailer is a lot of them, if you go on my IG, they do follow Ancestry Cigars, and I travel a lot. Like I was saying earlier, my travel schedule has been nothing for the past 2 months because of my mom being sick and everything like that. But I'm really about getting on the plane. I don't send you an email or send samples to you. I go and create a networking. I meet you, I get to know you, talk to you, I talk to you about the brand, and then that's how I market it. I also have an awesome Jay Ferg. He basically got Ancestry on the map because we did Black Smoke Miami. We were one of the sponsors for the VIP canopy for Black Smoke Miami. So with the help of him, with the help of my own footwork, and then I do have brand ambassadors. I have one in Baltimore. Her name is Olita Martin, and then I have quite a few people that are trying to come on as brand ambassadors. I have to go through all those emails, and then I have brand ambassadors here. But I get on a plane and come and visit you. I bring samples with me. So we can
Wow.
sit down
Wow.
and we can talk about it. If it's something you don't like, I'll say, well, what could I do to make that cigar different? what do you think is missing? I asked all of those questions because that's what enables the product to be stronger.
So we have a question
Mina.
from our audience. Yay! So this is from Michael Williams. He says, newbie question. Does pricing across the industry truly reflect the quality of the stick? How much does big branding pricing come into play for the Cohiba and or Drew estate that may skew that pricing?
Wow, that's for me.
That's for
That's
any
for
of you guys.
anybody that can
Yep.
answer. But because you are one of the cigar brands that are out there, for you, how does that, how does that play into your pricing?
So it plays into my pricing a little bit because I know I'm a new brand. So they're able to charge that because of how their recipe goes. Because I say each one of my cigars, the filler is my recipe. So they're able. People have to understand when they're making cigars, their budget is maybe $100,000, as opposed to when I'm making a cigar, my budget is $5,000. So that's how they're able to, and they're mass producing. Sometimes when they're producing those cigars, they producing 1,000 cigars, not even 1,000. They're producing like maybe 50,000 at a time. So of course their price and their recipe is going to enable them to charge $23, to charge $50 for a stick, as opposed to myself. I can't charge that. Like my lowest stick is $7 and my highest one is 10.
And that was a great question from Michael
It
Williams,
was.
because there are some cigars out there that are high priced, and thank you for that, Enid.
Mm-hmm.
There are some cigars out there that are overly priced, and they're not any good. Just
Mm-hmm.
saying. And
This is
so,
true.
you know what I mean? And sometimes they can do it because of the brand.
Mm-hmm.
So on a panel, Francis, I need you to speak up, honey.
She having a time today.
I know.
I
Poor
can't hear
baby.
you. Because she has this, New York is such a different culture as well. And there's a lot of cigar brands that are coming out of New York.
You
I
may
wish
have
I
to
could
go out and
hear
come back
her.
in.
Yeah, you might have to, sis.
Yeah. She might have to come back in. Kind of like Janitress did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or no, not Janitress, it was Heather.
Oh, yeah, that's right, earlier.
Yeah, but I think that's a great question. And Michael Williams is out of the Bay Area, and he is fairly new to the cigar culture, the cigar community as well. So coming from someone who isn't too familiar with the cigar industry or right now, pricing is
You can hear me?
Yes.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we can.
I wanted to speak up on that, about in New York. It's hard in New York to have boutique cigars because all the lounges only carry premium cigars.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the sad part about it.
Yeah, so
We're just having
Francis is having
technical.
a hard
She
time.
is. What were you gonna say, Gentry?
I was just going to say that for lounges.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, go ahead.
We
Go ahead,
could.
Frank.
But she froze again.
She froze again.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going to say
Y'all
about lounges. For lounges.
You can hear me?
Oh, go ahead.
You can hear me?
Yes.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, because like.
Oh man.
Friend.
Hey, this is live and unfiltered, y'all.
We catching hell with Frank today.
But let's let Janitress finish.
Yeah, Janitress, go ahead.
So what I was going to say was, based on the lounges, it's really nice because you do have those people that come in and they come with their kits. Sometimes they just come to the lounge to just chill and get away, like a man cave or a woman cave, and they don't even need a cigar. But it's nice because it seems like there's always somebody that is interested. There's always somebody that wants to learn. So you give them the Tatianas. I would love to get some from Inda. get some of her cigars in our lounge because people want to learn and they have different palates. So it's nice to have different levels to it. Hey, Francis.
Okay. We're gonna try this again, Francis.
We're gonna try this again.
It's okay, sis. It's all right.
Nikki,
you're amongst family, so we're good.
Nikki, I think Michael had another question that was good. I'm sorry.
Oh, I put it up. He was just saying from a newbie perspective, of how he would attempt to navigate through the humidor that's sorted by price.
That's kind of trial and error.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
As a cigar smoker, I think we all have to we taste so many different blends. And so I think it's just, you know, you have to light it up and see if what is good for you. Right?
Right.
What do you think, Janitress?
I would say the same thing. I would start small though, because you will find something you like just because you hear different names. You might be excited and want to treat yourself. Put it on your Christmas list, you know, then you could just see if you like it. But I would start small if you're learning, because I mean, look at her cigar, Nikki. You know, cigars can be long to smoke. And even at the lounge, they'll buy them, they'll do whatever, and they have sticks there because they're newbies. So don't get a huge stick and then you don't even know how to smoke it, or you know you're not going to smoke the whole thing. We have to educate people. You know, you can take it with you, you know, get your humidor, come back and we can give you one or whatever. But, you know, as a newbie, I would start small and then grow into it, especially if you don't smoke anything.
Right.
Great advice.
Like for
Good
me,
advice.
whenever I try something new, I always smoke a Robusto. The Robustos have always been good for me. And so, and then if I really like it, then I'll buy a different Vitola, but a Robusto is a great size to start with, in my opinion. Francis left again. And I want to hear about New York, because New York is a different beast in itself. And I understand what she's talking about. You know, small batch cigars have a difficult time, just like Miami is the same way. A lot of the new cigars, new brands that are out there, they have a difficult time. It's almost impossible to get into a Miami cigar lounge, you know, because predominantly when people come out here, of course, they go to Little Havana and they enjoy all the overpriced cigars that are in Little Havana. And then they go to a cigar lounge, and what you normally see are the Romeo Julietas, a lot of the Altada cigars, you know, the big brands. So it's very hard to get it here into a cigar lounge in Miami. And I think that's the same way in New York. Correct, Francis? Welcome back, sis.
Cannot hear you.
We can't hear you.
Friend, we can't hear you, honey.
No.
And I have a hard time reading lips.
I don't hear him at all.
So, Janitress, as a cigar retailer in Northern California, what are you going to start? Are you going to start with the legacy brands like a Fuente, you know, a lot of the brands that are more known, or are you going to venture out to some of the small batch ones and welcome companies like Enid's Ancestry Cigars?
We're going to be diverse, and because we have, you know, California issues, we love our governor, but we're going to be more online, and the membership handles some of that. But if we have people, like I travel a lot, like Mina said, and I go different places as well because I have another business. So we'll be a distributor. We'll send wholesale and do those things outside, but we're going to have a different variety because, again, people that come in, tourists. If I'm the one, I'm a cigar smoker, but I have my girls with me because we're on a girls trip. We need to have a variety because most people want to try. It's not illegal. So they'll try, they'll hang out, and then people want to take things with them for their husbands, boyfriends, girlfriends, whoever are not there. So we'll have a variety for those newbies and those, you know, connoisseurs that's already in the industry.
Right.
We have
that's absolutely true. I'm sorry, Nick. Go ahead.
That's okay. We have a question from Marvin for Enid. He says, I'm in Chicago for a couple of days. Which cigar lounge here can I go to and purchase your brand? Awesome.
Thanks
for the.
It all depends upon where you're at in Chicago, Marvin. We are at Windy City Cigar Lounge on 43rd and Prairie. We're at Habano Cigar Lounge in Tinley Park. We are at BH Cigar Lounge in University Park. We're at Tobacco Land in Munster. We're at Society in Hammond, Indiana. If you inbox me and you go to probably the closest one, if you're in downtown Chicago, would be Windy City. As long as my schedule permits, I can pop out and meet you, and you can meet me in person.
That would be awesome,
Nice.
Marvin. So if you didn't hear her, she said to DM her and she can give you more info. And if you guys are close enough, she can come out and meet you. Thank you, Enid. That is great.
That's a great list to be. I mean,
That'll be dope. Marvin's one of the guys from my group. Marvin Parsons, the avid smoker. And so thanks for that question, Marvin. I appreciate that.
That was a great question. That was great. Francis, we're going to try you again, sis. Say something.
I'm done.
Say something, sis. What you got? What you got? Try.
I'm done. Y'all can hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hear you. Hurry up. Hurry up before it cuts off.
Right? I don't even know what to say anymore.
You were talking about how difficult it is for small brands to be in New York.
Oh, yeah. Oh, it's extremely. I will have to travel upstate or to Philly to get boutique cigars.
Wow.
That's how far I gotta go to. Because here they don't carry no boutique cigars. And it's sad. Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, how do we change that, though? How do we get to a point where we change that?
Huh?
I said, how do we get to a point where we change that?
I don't know. You can't,
it's got to be
they
something
owned by
that we could do.
big countries. No, they a lot of these lounges are controlled by other big companies.
Oh. So they're controlled by the brands they actually carry. I have a question for Janitress, though. So Janitress, how have you faced any challenges by just being a private lounge? And do you ever plan to extend out to being not just that shop, but maybe another location where you plan to expand out where you can be more of a public lounge, or will it always be private?
No. So we originally wanted to be public, but the state of California and the city of Sacramento helped us become private. Because of part. So, when you talk to me about feet, I'm going to measure every feet. They talk about parcel. And in California, they they are working on limiting cigar lounges. And I would say tobacco, the cigar lounges and the cigars get rolled into that with the children and the flavored cigars. So the laws changed, but our goal is in the next year and a half to open up a larger lounge. And then that will be more retail and more public. But I like the private because we really get to control and monitor, and we get to work out all the kinks we didn't know, right? All the things you didn't know, all the learnings, build a community, build these type of relationships with you ladies and Michael, so that when we expand and we move to different areas, we already have that following. It will still have membership, but then in a different location, it would be open again to the public. So it's been an experience, but it's been dynamic. I always wink at challenges and I love learning. So I'm always open to helping others and not have some of the challenges that we've had that always make it better, because with the challenge, it was there for a reason. And I appreciate California saying, no, it's not feed, it's parcel. And and guess what? You go back to the table, you reevaluate, and we love being private, but we will be open to the public. Yes, in our next venture.
Wow,
Awesome.
I love that.
Awesome.
So I see that Mr. Michael Q is in the picture here.
Yes, he is.
And he's the only guy in this What's Good family.
In this female dominated room.
That's
Yes.
right. And I appreciate that he can represent the men. But yeah, so Michael, you want to say something?
Are you frozen, bro?
I think he is. We can't hear you, bro.
Can't hear you.
Nope.
There you go.
There we
There we-
are. All
there
right.
we
There
are.
we go.
Okay.
Okay. No, I'm not frozen. Francis, honey, you have some of the most beautiful nonverbal gesture facial expressions when you freeze. You be like, me mugging and shit. I'm like, is Francis okay? Look, she look like she froze now.
She is, I think.
She is.
Oh
Hang
my
on.
goodness.
She's coming
That's a-
back in. Hold on. Let me add
That's
it back.
okay. That's okay. Well, you know what? I have to say this first and foremost. I have to tip my hat and cheers to you ladies. Each and every one of you guys inspire me in a different way. You know, Janitress, I've just met you over the phone. This is the first time we're doing a face-to-face type of thing. Enid, same thing for you. What Louie and I do as a business, we're pioneers. What you're doing right now, you're a pioneer. You're a Lewis and Clark. I applaud you. So I applaud you for what you're doing. Janitress, I applaud you for what you're doing. Moving from the Bay Area, originally from Oakland, into Sacramento to raise a family. We haven't been home in the last 12 years, which is one of the reasons why Louie and I decided to move a part of our business there to the Bay Area. Which was, huh? No, I didn't. Can you guys see me?
You froze, bro.
Oh, I
We
didn't
see you now. But
Yeah, we see you now. And then when you're done, we have a question for Janitress.
Michael, get
okay.
up.
Wow.
Put him in the green room, please.
All right, we're gonna so we have a question for Janitress from Jermaine. It says, as a retail shop owner, how do you get the word out about your lounge?
A lot to do with social media. Again, being in that tourist area, they were happy to see us come because it brings a different vibe. So they put us on their wayfinders. So when people are planning to come to Old Sacramento or anything like that, they can see us there. Also, I have business partners. So we have different networks. We have different people. We come together as business partners, but we all come from a different background. So that's another way. And then also we visit a lot of places. I'm always traveling. So I'm out there, and then as well as their sales, but we go and support other local lounges and network and do, like on the 19th of this month, I'm doing a Sacramento Women in Business, a networking event. So we do a lot of things to bring the community together, to bring notice to our lounge, so that number one, people can have events. Number two, people know we're there. And then those that don't smoke, that's fine too. But when people know you're there, then they also outsource and refer you to other people.
Enid, I want to give you a chance to plug in, because I know you're going on a cigar tour later on this year. So can you let our viewers know where you're going to be?
My schedule is crazy. We still working on the schedule because we've had to move so many things back. One of the things with our company that I believe in is my lounges that are outside the state. I visit them once a quarter. So we should be, I'm thinking of the schedule. I know we'll be in Houston in September. We'll be there for the fishing and cigar expo. We're one of the sponsors. Unfortunately, due to my family things that are going on right now, we were supposed to be in Houston for the Black Cigar Festival. I'm gonna try to still hop on the plane to just come and support them, because we were actually supposed to do a cut and light there. Then we will be in Memphis next month for the entanglement. And then we have some more things that have gotten moved because I have to go back to Baltimore. And then I have quite a bit of stuff going on here because here every second Sunday, they didn't do it today because it's raining. They do a car show. So we have that. And then we have Bernard Terrell Cigars. He's out of Chicago. He's having an event August 1st. Then Stogie Life Mario Griffin. He's having an event August 8th. I have
Yay,
to
Mario.
Yeah, I'll be here for that. And then it'll just be on wherever anybody hopefully
When are you coming to California?
whenever you want me to.
Okay.
All right now.
So we need you so that we really optimize your time. Yeah. I would recommend you come when Michael and them are doing their thing in October.
Okay.
Because that's in Napa, and that's about I live in Blair, Napa is 15 minutes away from me, but Sacramento is about an hour and 15, and then that way you can do multiple events. Okay. And then I will link up with you and get some information because you need to be in our lounge, but then there's other lounges in the Bay Area in Sacramento. So definitely we will promote and help you get your information and your cigars out there.
So Janitress, we have another question. So it says, how do those without a membership support you?
Without a membership, we have day passes and weekend passes. So you would inbox or call me and say,
That's
hey,
a great idea.
Yeah. So are you open? I mean, that's why I've been looking at my phone because I'm getting all these texts. Are we open? And it's because Sunday is a prime day in Old Sacramento. And so you can come, if you inbox me and say, hey, I'm down there or I want to come, you can come because you have my number, right? You would inbox me. If we're not there, then if you inbox me like people do and say, hey, I want to bring a group of 7 because we're doing an anniversary and we're in your area. I just need to know ahead of time because I don't just sit there. And if it's a member in there, we want to make sure that, they pay their membership dues and that they get the space. And they often want other people in there with them too. So
well, add me to the list because I'll be there. I'm coming for the entire week that we'll be in Napa. So I would love to come and support you. Definitely.
Thank you.
Actually, we're going to do a show in Napa because all the ladies are going to be there.
Yes.
So we would want you to be on that show with us, and that'd be good. So
that would be awesome.
I have him sitting on my lap right now.
He's such a clown.
So Enid, Omar wants to know, do you have any of your cigars in any lounges in Georgia?
No, we're not in Georgia yet. We're working on Georgia, hopefully soon.
Well, hopefully we can change that because I was just about to say I'm getting ready to start producing the Wednesday nights on our ladies' nights, and so we're wanting to do some events that are specified strictly toward women in this industry. And so it would be dope to hopefully can get you down here in the next few months at some point. Set a date up for a Wednesday night and have you come in and introduce your cigars that particular night in my location that I manage and introduce you to Atlanta.
That'd be dope. Look at us networking together. Yes, I love it.
That's how we do it.
Love it.
Ladies, please.
So what now?
You guys.
My sister lives in Duluth.
Okay, so she lives near me. I live in Lawrenceville.
Yep.
Wow.
So ladies, if you guys need us to provide more support, more marketing for you, please feel free to post in my group or send me your flyer and I'll be happy to forward.
Yeah, I mean, we have 3 Facebook group owners here.
Yes.
We have Francis with Cigar Chaser, we have Ty with Rolling Leaf, and then Sister Arlene. What's the name of your group again?
50 Shades.
50 Shades. I love
Shades
it.
of Smoke.
I love it.
50 Shades of Smoke.
Yes.
So,
and I'm on Instagram too.
Yes. So let's collaborate, ladies, and we're going to have you guys back, definitely. Napa is going to be in October, so if we can all be there live together, I think it'll be an amazing show. Enid, if you can make it out, we would love to have Ancestry Cigars as a part of our launch of the Wine and Spirit Festival in Napa.
I'll be there.
And Janitress knows that Napa is a non-smoking city, and Michael has been able to get us to eat dinner and drink and smoke cigars in Napa.
Oh, we gonna light Napa on fire. In a good way.
That's what I'm
In a
talking
good
about.
way.
They don't even
Yes.
know what's
Before
coming.
we even
Yes.
start.
But they didn't kick us out afterwards. They bougie anyways. We gonna have fun.
Exactly. So we're gonna start closing down the show because well, Arlene, you're in PCA, and I know you got to get back. Enid, I know you got some things to do. Francis, Janitress, Ty, you got to go to work. And so, but we wanted to say thank you so much, and I got Michael on because he's a major part of What's Good, and he's the only guy on the show.
I'm good with that.
On the back end.
I'm good with that.
On the back end. So do you have some closing words for us?
First and foremost, I want to say, ladies, again, thank you for your time and coming by. Like I said, each and every one of you guys inspire me a different way. You don't know, and I probably will never share it with you. I just want you to continue to be you, because that's what I really appreciate with respect to that. Yes, there's a lot of estrogen up in this room, but you know what? As a single man, I can handle that. I'm good with that. I look forward to working with each and every one of you guys moving forward. And I would say this to you, Enid, and I would say this to you, Francis, and I would say this to you, Janitress. Please, by all means, reach out to your own groups and have those individuals support these ladies on their Facebook as well as the YouTube. It is a big, huge thing that they're trying to do. And I'm just here in the background. I always say that your shadow is bigger than blacker than you, and I'm bigger than blacker than everybody. So, it's all good. And we're to support with respect to that. Each and every person that you see that's on there has somebody in their back, and they're supporting them. And, I just want to let you guys know that we appreciate the extension of the family that we're trying to build, and especially in the community when it comes down to women. I was just telling Louis this morning when I was in the kitchen cooking and cleaning. Yes, I do stuff like that. I believe that it's going to be that of the female that's going to, make a big change in regards to this community, in regards to the cigar community. And, like Rick said, we're individuals like all of you guys right now are dressed to represent not only yourself, but your families. And I appreciate that. We don't have to use our feminine wows in order to get attention. Every one of these women, they have a cerebrum that's out of this world. I respect a lot of the palettes that these women have, the knowledge that they have, and we want to share that without showing off, what's going on. But again, individuals have to understand that this is, unfiltered, and it's live, and it's uncut, and
yeah,
He's sitting on her lap.
And he's sitting on my lap.
Oh, yeah.
I gotta carry him.
Hey, you do what you need to do.
So we're gonna start a Brothers of the Leaf series because we do want to hear from the men as well.
Yes.
And we have some things that we need to say to y'all.
Yes. Yes.
Oh yeah.
For the show.
I'm not gonna be in the hot seat for that shit.
We will see. We will see.
Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna be in the hot seat for that.
So, ladies, last words from everyone, please, and then we will say ciao for now.
And long ashes and slow burns, baby.
Nikki, we'll start with you.
Well, I wanted to thank you, first of all, Louis, for putting this entire platform together with all these awesome sisters of the Leaf, and for What's Good. The fact that we can have our voices heard in a safe environment, a happy and healthy environment. And I think that we have definitely kicked the door down on stereotypes that we can't work together, that we call each other names. That's not us. We are a family. And I just want to say thank you to all of our guests today. Keep kicking ass in the industry. Keep breaking down barriers. Know that you definitely have our support. So thank you again.
Awesome. Yes, absolutely. Arlene, what you got?
I just want to thank you guys so much. This has been an amazing show. I have learned a lot from all of you guys. And so I just appreciate you. And, just keep pushing, keep grinding. If you all win, we all win, right? So thank you for all that you do. And we hope to see you guys back. So
she got on her sister Leaf bracelet, I think.
I know. Look at sis. Ty, what you got, Ty?
So first, I just want to say thank you, of course, to piggyback off my other two, other three. I just want to say thank you. You guys have truly given me a newfound respect for the slogan "Sister of the Leaf," because you guys, I mean, all of you, even the ones that didn't make it on, and the ones that didn't had to leave, you guys have totally impacted me today. Sometimes I get overwhelmed with all that I have to do with. My job is very demanding with working in the cigar industry, and then school full time. So, and a wife, if somebody's in law enforcement, it's a lot. But seeing you guys, your struggles and the things the storms you're going through now, and the storms you've come through, lets me know that my peak of little sunshine is just that much closer. And so I appreciate that. I appreciate you guys' struggle and your stories that come behind it. You guys truly have a testimony that needed to be shared today on this. I'm just glad it was our platform that you chose to share it.
Yes.
So I'm grateful for that. I'm looking forward to working with you ladies, meeting you guys in Napa. But Enid, definitely getting you here in Atlanta and making our location the first location to debut you on Ladies Night. I think that would be amazing. So thank you, Francis, for always being real, always being a supporter. I appreciate you. You're my sister. Love you guys.
Love you too. Francis, while we have you, you got some last words? Fran.
She's stuck again.
Janitress, I'm going to hand it off to you. Last words.
Well, I would say thank you for the invite, number one. Number two, this has been amazing. You guys can't get rid of me now, so hopefully you'll invite me back to be a part of this amazing show. The other thing I would say is if Michael or yourself could just send everybody through email how to access everybody, because like everybody has said, I travel a lot too, and I'm a people person. I love human beings. So I will definitely market and communicate and be at your place of business and all those other things. So I would love to have the information. So when I'm in these different locations and people, I own a travel business. So when people are talking, I can say, hey, go here, go there, make sure you pick this up, make sure you do this. So if you can just send the information out, that would be great so that we can connect and link up and make sure that we stay connected as women in business.
Amazing. Thank you so much. And we'll send all that, Facebook, Instagram, all of that.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you for being on the show, and we will see you in Napa in October.
Yes.
Enid, what's your last words?
First of all, thank you all for my flowers. I did send Lou an inbox message, and I thanked her for my flowers. Thank you all for inviting me on this opportunity. I need the dates to be texted me so I can make sure my personal assistant clears my schedule.
Wait a minute. Why do we see two of Francis?
Huh?
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Enid.
Yeah, so that I can be in Napa. I'm officially on the platform committing to Napa. I will be in Napa. Thank you, Ty. Ty, send me, inbox me your information. So
I will do that.
Cigars in Atlanta. And thank you all so much. It's a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you for being
Thank you.
We will have you back.
Okay.
Definitely.
Back. Fran, are you good?
You're not frozen.
Are you good? What's good, honey? What's good? Oh,
You're not frozen. Go ahead.
Frances is part of our family, so she's going to be a frequent guest on the show. She has a lot that she can contribute, and we just love her dearly, dearly, dearly. Frances, we go way back on social media, and we were one of the first ones to put a cigar and put our picture on social media. So that's my sister right there.
Francis is one of the ones that got me drunk. We went to New York.
Yep, that's right. On
It's
your
your
birthday.
damn fault.
That's right. But
Did I do that?
I want to close the show out with this. We have an amazing show next week. It's episode 4. And Arlene, unmute yourself because this is going to be Arlene's episode. And I'm so excited for her because she has an amazing relationship with the Fuente family. And because Arlene, we were able and graced with Liana Fuente's presence on our show. And
Can we have an SOTL to the Fuentes family? I want to go to see them.
Yeah, right?
We should do a
Exactly.
Sisters of the Leaf
Yes.
going to the Puente factory.
That's right.
We are going
That'd
to
be
set
dope.
that up. Yes,
Yeah,
we
we
need to
need
set
that.
that up.
Amazing.
So, but
So
yes,
Oh,
I'm super, super, super excited, you guys, with Liana Fuente coming. It's huge, I think, for our series of Sisters of the Leaf.
Absolutely.
And so please share, join us. We really want to make this special. We really want to dig deep into how Liana just multitasks, in such a huge company. So I think we can learn a lot from her. I think she can share, she can totally inspire us and encourage us, just to keep grinding like we do.
Yes, exactly. And we want to thank you for bringing that to the table. And we're really excited to support you because that's your show.
Thank you.
So we will
Thank
be
you.
there to support you.
Yes.
And y'all, we're going to say ciao for now. So I'll say ciao for now from Miami.
Hey.
All right.
Take
Thank you
care,
so
Thank
much,
you all.
Marilyn.
Love you guys.
Have an amazing week.
Love you
Everybody
guys.
for listening.
Have a beautiful
and
Sunday.
thank
Thank
you.
you. You too.
Guys, take care.
Love y'all.
Love
Love you
you.
too.